What's up, people of the ethers? I'm back, and I'm gonna try to be consistent this semester because making these little things, videos, makes me feel better. And I'm gonna edit them. I'm not gonna do that because at the beginning of this channel, I had an intro, I was editing the shit out of them, and then I kind of fell off. And I was uploading them straight from my phone, didn't even make it to the computer, just saved in camera roll, boom, upload to YouTube. Not anymore. I'm also moisturizing my lips because this camera is really good. And I was watching back my old videos and my lips look cracked as fuck. And we don't support that in this household. I'm talking about the things in which I do in an attempt to get my muchness back. There is a quote from the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland, and he goes,
"You're not the same as you were before. You were much more muchier. You've lost your muchness.
My muchness.
In there, something's missing."
and whenever I am feeling down, I lose all of my muchness, all of the great things that I feel I bring to the table. And I'm self-aware of it, which like makes it kind of suck. And I'm like, I'll be like laid out in bed and I'll be like asleep, trying to avoid the reality in which I live, because in my head the only version of rest that is valid is sleep, when in actuality rest can be productive in other ways. And I kind of came to the conclusion that like when I'm really not in a good space, I feel really sad because I'm not doing any of the things that I like to do, like this, caressing you beautiful people with my thoughts to get your synapses firing, or writing poetry, or junk journaling, or going and sitting in the sun. Not in the sun, but when I'm at home. And while I was at home, I like kind of created a little nighttime routine, and that was consistent of watching a movie every night, which I forgot was one of my hobbies. Because to me, like, watching media doesn't feel super like something you could say is a hobby, because you are not creating, you're engaging with something, but it feels very different from like creating something or doing something physical. I don't know, it just feels very different. So this is me resetting my brain into the understanding that consuming media and having thoughts and critical feelings about it is also a hobby. So over break I watched a plethora of movies, some of which I liked, some of which I didn't. But after each movie I was like, wow, I get why like movies are so lovely and they have like such great endings. It's just like, it's not even about the ending, it's about the journey. But like when I think of a good example, it's like movies take you on so many roller coasters and you feel so many different types of ways, and then you get to the ending and sometimes you're like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like the ending 20 minutes of a movie can be the best thing or the worst thing. And like my two examples, one for like the worst ending of a movie is Love Lies Bleeding. Very gay boxer, I don't even know if she's a boxer, I watched this many eons ago. Gay boxer murderer plot thing going on, very queer, very expressive, very sensual, all of the things. I watched it once and I saw it in theaters, and I don't think I'd ever seen a movie in theaters with so many sex scenes as Love Lies Bleeding prior to watching that movie. So I was just like, are they allowed to play this on the big screen? I'm seeing her nipples in 4 HD. But that's not what made the movie good or bad. Like, it was a long plot, it was very riveting, super engaging, and then it got to the end, and spoiler alert, the main character turns into like this giant and is just like sailing across the world, like stomping and stomping and stomping and stomping, and like that was the end. Was like her issues were big and then she became bigger than them. And like I get that that's like a metaphor, like we can all be bigger than our problems, yes. And in my personal, unprofessional but very snobby media idea of life, why would you do that physically? Like, I don't know. So that just like put me off of the whole movie. Like, I have a list, let me pull it up, of movies in my notes app of which are my favorites. And one of them said, my note for that movie is, bless me. Wow, I did not like that. But in my all-time favorites, it literally says Love Lies Bleeding minus the ending. It was a great film. The end got me. But on the opposite end of that spectrum is a movie that also brings you on an equally riveting and like deeply relatable journey, but has a beautiful ending, and that is The Breakfast Club. American classic. Like, you know, that ending scene where, you know, I was a criminal, a princess, a blah 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 blah, all of the things that all these characters were, and the summation like ends in this final just like walk off the field, like hurrah. And it's like very emotionally moving. And I guess my point in all of this is that my brain was like leaking out of my ears, it felt like, from all of the short form media I was watching and consuming passively, like not even thinking about it in a critical lens. Like I was just scrolling. Like, ask anybody around me, 3 seconds into a video, not interested, scroll. Like, my girlfriend will be on FaceTime or like across the room and I'll hear her scrolling. I hear a video I've already seen and I can like will recite back the description of the person who is in this video and what they do and the punchline of the video, and I know that she finds this really annoying because it's her first time watching this media and I've just spoiled it. And obviously you can spoil movies, you can do this, that, and the other. But long form media just makes you want to sit and look at it like this. And then gasp like this. And then cry and scream. And I have like very strong reactions to most films, particularly ones that are emotionally heavy. But it's been really fun to just explore different genres of film. I had a friend I used to go to the movie theater with a lot, and to me that was like the peak of our dynamic. It was really fun to just go to a movie, like pop in, and then we're already in the movie theater. A little bit illegal, but we would just go to the theater next, like the next theater over, and like watch whatever was playing. And I think there's something really beautiful about remembering you love something so much and doing it. And I saw like a post on Substack or Pinterest or like whatever social media I'm on that isn't Instagram or TikTok, that was like adulthood, your 20s is when you realize that like, wow, like eating 3 meals a day really does set you up for success. Like, wow, like I should drink water, my body feels happier. Like, those are the realizations you have in your 20s. And then like your 30s is coming to terms with the fact that the things that make you happiest have always made you that happy. We just lost them in translation. Like, I was once a child and I loved to sit on the floor and watch movies. The Winnie the Pooh movie, Lilo and Stitch, just like, oh, whatever. I would sit and I would watch and be in awe. And then life gets hectic, you grow up, you're stressed, you're depressed, you're this, that, and the other, and then you lose all the things that make you feel good. And so like a lot of my understanding about myself is now through this lens of like, what did young me like to do? And I come to terms, like you've already seen it in another video, like my whatever used to be video. It's like a lot of what I know to be true about myself feels like a very distant memory. And like I'm kind of leaning into like this understanding of, you know, when I was a kid, what did I like to do? I like to do science projects with my dad a lot as a kid. I'm the least STEM person I know. Math, science, I hate to see it coming. I have overcome, why bring me back? But like, the fact of the matter is, like, if you asked me to make a baking soda volcano, I would fuck that shit up. I used to like to go, like, to plays and musicals with my parents as a kid. Like, I know I'm a musical, like, a theater kid in my heart of hearts, but it's not every day I'm singing the soundtrack of Rent. But if I had an extra 15 minutes and sang 3 songs I liked, like, in the morning while getting ready, I probably would have a better day. So this is my 2026 resolution is investing in the things that make me happy, and when things get hard, not letting that be the deciding factor of no longer participating in those things that make me feel full and joyful and all of that jazz. But I did want to talk about movies. Back to movies. Particularly the movies I watched over break. I actually just got a notification from Letterboxd, the best movie site of the year, breaking down the details of my 2025 year in review. Now, in all candidacy, I did not watch as many movies as I wanted to in 2025 for various reasons, but I wish I had, and the ones that I did, I wish I logged them. I did not, but I'm back on my Letterboxd logging game, and it's been really great, honestly. I watched Zootopia 2 twice over this winter break. The first time I did not enjoy it in the slightest, and I think that was a skill issue, honestly. I was just, like, not in a movie watching mindset. It was, like, kind of the first time I'd seen a movie in a while, so I was like, why is this so long? Like, this is a children's movie, and, like, this is an obvious, like, depiction of racism, but, like, where is the fun? Like, I come to a children's movie to, like, have fun and be joyous, like, not to think about how I'm the snake of the world and nobody wants me. Like, I don't know. So that was, like, my first impression, and then afterwards I, like, stated that it felt like when you're on a walk or you're walking somewhere and, like, going there feels so long, and then on the walk back it feels a lot shorter because you know where you're going, you're familiar, like, you have this set idea of how long something takes in your head. And it was a skill issue, I will say. It was a skill issue, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I have a lot of skill issues with a lot of things. Some might call that unskilled. I don't call it that. I call it being Jay Porter. Yeah. And my point in this, it's just that I love Letterboxd. It's been really fun to, like, think about the media I consume in a way that feels, like, more deeply understood. And because movies inspired me so much this past semester, I was, like, looking to take, an extra class. I was at 17 credits, and I was like, you know what, like, a 1 credit class won't hurt, blah, blah, blah. Even though it always has the potential to. Maxing out on credits, is it a good idea? Is it not? Stay tuned for my transcript in May. But I was scrolling on Side Chat or Yik Yak or whatever your school calls it. I was scrolling on this app that, like, college kids can interact on, and someone was like, oh my gosh, like, if you have the opportunity, you should totally take this film and media studies class, individual nonconformity in film. And I was like, bet, that sounds so lit. I checked, it's 1 credit. The Side Chat post then went on to say it's like you literally watch movies, you eat popcorn, and you discuss. It's a 3-hour class, and it happens 4 times in the semester, once a month, easy money. And I love my individuality and nonconformity. Like, we know I love these topics. So the fact that there's a class on that, and it's movies, and I get popcorn, and I get to talk about it, not via Letterboxd, is very, very, very exciting to me. And I kind of do things like this where I set parameters for myself where I have to do something almost, if I know it brings me joy. Like, doing this YouTube channel, I know it makes me happy, but it has the potential to go away, it has the potential to stay, who knows. Now, if my life was at stake for it, I would absolutely continue to film such a thing. Versus taking this film and media studies class. I know I love to watch movies. I do. I was debating getting the AMC A-lister pack.
I got like hella money.
I definitely don't have time to watch 4 movies in theater a week. But honestly, watching 2 movies a month is still a better deal than just going in and watching 1 movie a month for the normal price. Not endorsed. But I was like, oh, you know, like, I'm gonna want to keep watching movies when I get to school, but obviously 18 credits, 3 jobs, blah, 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 all the fucking things I do. I'm not gonna have time to watch a movie every night. Like, maybe this first week, last night I watched Pitch Perfect. Feel good movie, love it down. And my review actually details about how Pitch Perfect was based off of Tufts. A consultant in the movie was a man who was a part of Tufts' first a cappella group, first of many, the Beelzebubs. The Beelzebubs have sung for President Clinton and the UN and all these crazy places. They're very talented, very good. This man who founded the Beelzebubs was consulted on Pitch Perfect because after the inception of Beelzebubs, all these other a cappella groups popped up at Tufts and continue to have, whether that's race-based, like stylistic, whatever. And the performance group I'm in, Beats, banging everything at Tufts, was actually created by 10 people that didn't get into any a cappella clubs 22 years ago, which I had no idea. Routinely in practice, we'll, you know, ask what gigs we want to do, and everyone's like, no a cappella, no a cappella. Never knew why, just thought there was personal beef. Maybe we're just a room full of people that can't sing. I didn't really get it. But now I understand why we don't perform for the a cappella teams on campus, because we were created, birthed from the inability to sing, basically. My point being, I'm basically living the Pitch Perfect dream, because not only was this movie based off of my school, Beats is a product of basically failing a riff off, essentially, and now we just have jam sessions. And also, Becca of Pitch Perfect sorts CDs for work. I do that. She skips her ethics classes. My ethics teacher, I'm sure very renowned. You know, we have one of the best, like, master's programs for philosophy in the country. But he's very dry British humor. Will I be skipping ethics, Mom and Dad? No. Maybe sometimes. So, basically, yesterday I realized I'm living my Pitch Perfect dream. My point? Where did it go? I don't know. But just that, that I'm not always gonna have time to, like, do the things that I love to do. So building them into my schedule in a way that feels necessary forces me to do it. I know I love to watch movies. It's also the first week of classes. I had time yesterday to watch Pitch Perfect. I started at 10 p.m., ended by midnight. Perfect. I had an 8:50 class this morning, was able to get up and go. That's not going to be every night. Most nights I'll be tired. Most nights I'm not going to want to do the things that make me feel good. So building something into my schedule, like this film and media studies class, it's really crucial for me maintaining these dynamics that I know make me feel lovely and dandy and all of the things. So, how else could I implement that into my life? One thing I've done is on Fridays, I have a time block. My first class ends at 10:30 on Fridays. My next one starts at 1:30. In that time block, in my schedule, repeated every week, says, YouTube time, you better do it, ho! And this was the first Friday, and I actually did not film this video during that time. I got home, I was feeling very nauseous, I took a nap, I went and I got lunch, and I was like, maybe this will make me feel better. It didn't. I went to my next class nauseous and tired still, but class has since ended, and I'm feeling deeply inspired to speak to the ethers, to you people. So, like, building routine around the things that make me feel good is integral to me feeling good. On Mondays, I have a section of time that says junk journal. I often say junk journal. it is something that truly does make me so much joy. I love making collages. I love like making vision boards, things of that nature. For some reason, junk journal feels really, really permanent. Like, you can't get rid of that page, because then you're just gonna get rid of the page before that's connected to that page that already had your beautiful artwork on it. I've had this journal for a year and a half almost now. There's maybe 5 pages of it completed. But I want to junk journal. I want to do it. I want to invest in my happiness. I want to invest in my muchness, and I want to be so much. I also was like, what else makes me feel good? Dressing cool, being hot, being sexy. Like we already know I'm hot shit.
Goddamn, how you do it like that? Pretty little bitch with
I
an
don't always
ass
feel
so
like
fat.
hot shit though. When I don't feel well, I'm not putting on fits. I'm not putting on fits. I'm throwing fits. So making sure I have clothes and things that make me feel like the hot shit I am, and I don't mean the shit that comes out of my rectum. I mean hot shit, as in hot shit. So this break, I received an influx of clothes, some as gifts, some as hand-me-downs, all of which were from deeply stylish, creative, and cool people, i.e. my grandmother. The woman she is, I love her so dearly. And my mother always says I get my style from her. A literal goddess, an absolute icon, the most fun and genuine person you will ever meet. You probably won't meet her because she's my grandma, but the most fun and genuine person I have ever had the honor of knowing. And many of these clothes, you know, she's a very petite woman. So many of them don't fit me, but I get to, you know, be fun, funky, use these patterns, you know. My girlfriends, some of my friends, they sew. I can give some people some tasks for me to have these cool clothes. But I came back to school, I checked luggage, I went home for break with a suitcase and a tote. I came back to school from break with 2 suitcases and a tote. And the other suitcase, all of my grandmother's clothing, much of which is for winter wear. Very helpful, because now I have all these new clothes, and they're super cool, they're super awesome, and I look cool, I feel good. Like, I'm going to class, and like, yesterday, day 1 of school, good day. I was like, I got up, I was feeling it, I got up at 6, I like had a meditation, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be a great semester. Day 2, I woke up, I said, are you fucking kidding me? I have to do this again. Impending doom came back. It took 24 hours on this campus for it to hit me like a brick. All my gastrointestinal issues started coming back. I was like, oh, I'm nauseous, this anxiety, like, ugh. Also doesn't mix well with dining hall food. So but I still put on cool clothes, and I was like, I low-key feel so much better, because now the bus driver is complimenting me. Now I can walk like a model. Like, I can really, like, the runway awaits me when I have a fit on. And that was like a reminder of, like, there's a lot of things in this life I cannot control. A lot of things internally feels like I can't control, but my therapist would be proud to say that you can, in fact, control your thoughts, and then your feelings, and then your actions, and blah, 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 blah. But there's a lot of things that feel like that are out of my control. But when I look at the things that make me feel so lovely and awesome, cool clothes, media, sitting in the sun, being with my friends, so much of this I can do. I landed on this campus, I saw like most of my friends the second I stepped foot down. Like, I had 2 of them come sit in my room, help me unpack. I went to another's house the next day. Like, I was just on the grind, because I was like, I have to hold on so tightly, leave my claw marks on these things that I love, because if I don't, then I'm not gonna have the motivation to continue to do it. And that's just been like a lovely lesson. What else do I like? I like looking like a creature of the night. I like having my, you know, bleachness. I got my hair redone before I came back. That was lovely. And I'm enjoying the notion of being much, muchier. It's also much easier to be much, muchier when you don't feel horrible. This is like my baseline level of how mentally ill I feel, on a scale from functioning to not functioning. So I'm like right here at functioning. This is how I typically feel. It's nothing worse, nothing better. As the semester creeps on, normally 5 to 6 weeks in, I tiptoe way over here very fast. It's a rapid decline. And so I'm hoping if I build these skills and build these things into my everyday, I'll stay over here for longer. And I am working on being optimistic. I think I can be optimistic for anybody else. I'm somebody that consistently invests in my own future. I might not like the present, but I sure as hell don't want future me to fail. And that's how I've attained a lot of opportunities I have. That being said, I'm still a deeply pessimistic person on the inside because pattern has shown me that some things just happen to some people and then it keeps happening and then it sucks. And while this can be true, and while I also don't show that side of myself to literally anybody, because if I did, then y'all would be like, what the fuck? You're so sad. And no fun to be around. So I don't exude that idea often, but that is how I feel deep down. And I had a good conversation with a friend where I basically just explained that this is just how I feel and what am I gonna do. Like, I can do things about it, but like ultimately there is something wrong in my brain. I can take the meds, I can go to therapy, I can do movement, I can do art, I can say what I'm grateful for. Like, ultimately this is how my brain works. And like this level of realism had kind of a shocking effect on her. But it was also very beautiful to see because, like, in a later conversation, you know, she was like, no, I'm focusing on the positives, like, I'm trying to get through this hard time. And I said, yes, that's beautiful, and I love this so much, and I love it for you, but I also understand why and how I could love it for me, too. So, this is my semester of being much, muchier. This is the start of my lifetime of being much, muchier, and I'm gonna give you a little location change. I'm gonna dash on over to a friend's house and I'm going to ask them what fuels their muchiness, because I'm just a case study. What about the rest of the world? A lot of people also have much more interesting, like, things that they do and that they love than me. Not that my things aren't interesting, but you know, most people can watch a movie. Not all can enjoy it. Not all are good at watching movies. We have some crazy movie theater talkers. It's one thing to be a movie talker. I'm a movie talker in the comfort of my own home. In the theater, have some respect, bruh. We're all trying to watch. Not everybody's a good movie watcher, but a lot of people have much more interesting insights than the consumption of media. So, here's Digi. What are your
Is this like interview style?
What are your hobbies? What makes you muchier?
Things that make me muchier. I like skating and I like building things. I build things that are either practical or funny. Let's see.
Best build.
My best build, beaver box, 100%. For a class I took senior year, it was just build a house for some animals, except half the class was just learning how to build things, except I and my best friend already knew how to build things, so we just faffed around. Like, one class we just went to Whole Foods and got donuts. That was so nice. And also, because ours was made out of metal, we didn't have to do a lot of the computer work for manufacturing, because we just cut things with our hands. And that was really fun. Let's see. Currently, my project ideas are a Minecraft lamp, like a lantern, that turns on when you lift it off something because there's a pressure plate on the bottom. And the reason I want this is because then I wouldn't have to turn on the light when I went downstairs at night and the laundry room lamp doesn't work. My bird feeder, I wanna... Well, I'm not like in the process of necessarily of doing these, these are just my ideas. Bird feeder is like, I want it to automatically refill the bird feeder when it's empty because I'm really lazy and no one else in my house refills it. A drawstring bag for all my essentials that I could just pick up so I could have all my stuff in one location if I have no pockets. Like a t-shirt. like a button up. But with this really cute fabric I bought with Bex. and maybe I can become best friends with Bex. And then I want to make pants that are like wood duck colored. You know what a wood duck is? It's like the male wood duck is really famous for its coloring, and then the female wood duck is just like there because that's how it always is.
Yeah.
But what if one pant was like male duck colored and one was female duck colored? Like I think that would be so cool. Like it's like
Oh wow.
and then the girl's just kind of like there, which is like yeah, good for you.
Look at her eyeliner, it's kind
Yeah. And she has like a little thing there, so
Yeah.
wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool.
And then I wanted to make a 3-tiered skirt because it's like one of the easiest sewing projects you can do, and then also violin ? Because violin. So yeah, all of these ideas bring me joy, and hopefully I can overcome my crippling do-nothing addiction / social media, and then actually do things that bring me joy, and then that will much your muchiness. Yes, if I did all these things, that would much my muchiness. Also, Beats with J.
Hi.
Because Beats is the best thing
Beats
ever.
is the best thing ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
There we go. Concrete proof that some people are really smart and their happiness doesn't just come from watching movies.
Wait, no, but I just at least movies are a better form
This
of
is
like
true.
time than social media because there's more thought put into it, so you're like appreciating something better. I'm just scrolling social media because it's easy.
It is easy.
It's so easy. But what if I had a new pair of pants? Like, think about that.
Yeah, then you would have.
Like 5 pairs
Yeah,
of pants. Like,
I was
that
gonna
would
say
that would be
6.
crazy.
Yeah, 5 is
Yeah,
good.
maybe 6.
No.
Well, maybe soon. Once I make this camping tee. Wait, I'll show you the fabric that I bought with Bex because I think it's cute.
Wait, this is really cute fabric. To the people. Camping tee. I didn't really understand what you meant. I thought you meant a shirt to go camping. But this is
No, it's just like camping.
fabric.
It's just like
Wow.
I'm just imagining it as like a button up.
This is cute.
Yeah,
Can
camping
you
tee.
can you sew?
No.
Okay.
My high school's motto was "Learn by doing." So
Yes. learn by
also,
doing.
Merry
Yes,
Christmas.
thank you. My room is stinky.
Unboxing video.
It smells so good. I'm so excited.
Perfect.
It smells like a bathroom, but it smells like a bathroom, but like
I
a
saw
clean
it.
bathroom.
Yeah, it does smell like a clean bathroom.
I'm
Wow,
really
refreshed and
excited.
energized. Are you refreshed and energized?
Now I am.
Yay!
Okay, ethers.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.